Good evening and welcome to the February 1st Humboldt City Council proceedings. Would you please join me in reciting the Pledge of the Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the meeting to order, and Lawyer, would you please take roll?
Goodell.
Here.
Slater.
Here.
Rusher.
Here.
Davis.
Here.
First item on the agenda tonight is it's a new procedural format that Travis recommended. It's called a consent agenda, and there are several items on this agenda format, and then if since there will be little or no discussion in regard to those items, we can go ahead and go through those and make one separate motion and have a second in order to approve those specific items. There is one item that I would like to pull off that, and it's number 8. It's in the maintenance agreement for the central tank coating items, and that I would like to have a little further discussion on that. But so we would need a motion to approve the above consent agenda items. Number 1 is the agenda as printed. Number 2, approve the minutes of the January 18th, 2016 regular council meeting. Number 3, approve the January investment report. Number 4, approve the January treasurer's report. Number 5, approve the January claims. Number 6, approve a new 5-day Class C liquor license for St. Mary's Church for the week of April 9 through 14, 2016. And number 7, approve the renewal of a Class C liquor license for Fireside Restaurant and Lounge, Inc., doing business, as Fireside.
Move to approve. Second.
Motion by Darrell, seconded by Brett. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carried. You want to have that discussion on that number 8 then? Yeah, I was just, we have a contract that's come up with Central Tanks Coatings, and if you'd just like to explain what that's in regard to, it's to the south tower, is that what it's in regard to,
It's to
Travis?
the older water tower, the 500,000 gallon tower. It's a maintenance contract that we already have in place. There is through discussions with Clint, basically what this contract does, there is an initial payment of, is it 12,000?
Yes, 12,500.
12,500 to basically remove the existing overflow pipe, plate it off, and by doing that, it'll then reduce the annual maintenance cost associated with the contract. So it's to perform that and then have the subsequent amendment for the contract.
And then you said that they were lowering our costs on the visual inspection and cleaning inspection from 29,000 to 22,500 starting in 2015, actually last year. Is there some type of a guarantee or something like that or does that include any, anything that's going on with the south tower that you're aware of? I mean, if they notice something, then they just bring it to our attention and then we, follow up on it from there, or?
Well, I think one of the reasons for plating off that overflow is the current system basically just overflows out the side of the tank, correct, Clint?
Yep, correct.
And so you have quite the fall from the top of the tank to the ground, and the plan is to eventually reroute an overflow that would go through the center of the tank within certain distance from the ground, so that you're not just having water coming out the side of the tank.
Okay. Okay. Anybody have any questions on that at all? Well, then we need a motion to approve the authorization of the updated maintenance agreement for the 500,000 gallon water tank with Central Tanks Coating, Inc. of Elgin, Iowa.
Move to approve.
First by, I'm sorry, go ahead, and
Second.
seconded by Joel. All those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carried. Next on the agenda this evening is communications. Are there any comments or questions from the general public here this evening? Since there aren't any, then we will enter into a public hearing. This being the time and place for the scheduled public hearing on the matter of the proposed vacation of a utility easement located in the Northwest Industrial Park. I will open the public hearing at 5:37 p.m. Do you-
No written comments received, correct?
No. And this is just the
This is
the
just a
vacation
follow-up
of
to
that little easement that is going to nowhere that Hogslat wants to build over.
that they've.
That we talked about the last 2
Yeah.
meetings.
Yeah.
Right, right.
Brett, any comments? Daryl?
Nope.
No. John?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Well, there being no more comments or objections on the matter of the proposed vacation of a utility easement located in the Northwest Industrial Park, I will close this public hearing at 5:39 p.m. And do you need a motion or anything on that particular one?
Oh, there's a resolution.
Okay, follow, okay. The new business, we would have the audit review with Anderson Company, and that is Steve Hutchinson's here with us this evening.
Like you said, I'm Steve Hutchison with TP Anderson Company. We're had the pleasure of doing your audit once again this year. Management is responsible for the preparation and fair presentation of the financial statements. Our responsibility is to express an opinion on those financial statements. And as such, we have issued a unmodified opinion, which is the type of opinion you want to receive. It means that your financial statements have been presented fairly. We have also done a single audit, which you are required to do when you receive federal awards of over $500,000. We have done such on, and we had 2 major programs, the bridge project and also the T-hanger project for the airport. We issued a unmodified opinion on both of those major programs as well. If you have your financial statements there in front of your audit packages, if you turn to page 14, and that's the governmental funds section. Total governmental funds, we had receipts of $6.8 million. We had disbursements of $7.7 million. So our cash balance dropped by $900,000 during the year. And we have a total balance of $2.7 million at the end of the year. On the following page is the business type properties, which are water, sewer, solid waste, where we had total operating revenue of $2.3 million, disbursements of $2 million, and we had other receipts and disbursements of a negative $1.2 million. We had other financing sources. We had bond proceeds of $279,000. So our net change in cash balance on the business type funds was, we lost about $648,000. So our ending cash balance there is $518,000. Now, once again, I said we had no major findings. We did have some minor findings. One is that we have not met our debt covenants. And we have debt covenants that are in effect for both the water and sewer funds. And as such, our net revenues generated by the water and sewer funds were 59% of what was required for the water fund, 71% for what is required for the sewer fund. So in order for us to be in compliance with those covenants, we would need to increase our revenues.
Steven, those, are they mandated by the state?
They're mandated in your bond,
That is coming
Issues
specifically from our
themselves.
bond issuance, okay,
yes.
okay.
I don't have any other things that I'd like to discuss. If you have any questions for me, feel free.
The only thing I had, if you go to page 12,
Yep.
Steve, in the paragraph that says, "We are proposing a decrease in the total tax levy of,"
That was last year.
Oh.
That's what we did this past year from
Okay.
the budget. This is just the financial information from the budget.
okay. Well, I was just noticing, that you had like $1.03, but then it didn't, it went from $17.44 to $17.40. I mean, so is that just, that dollar shouldn't be there, that dollar shouldn't be there?
The rates here.
That dollar right here, I mean, is that just I mean, would it make that $16.03 versus $17? Do you see what I'm saying, guys?
Yeah.
I mean, is that
That's
just a
a
typo?
typo, yeah.
Okay, that's what do you see where I'm at, Steve?
Yeah.
You see it says $1.03?
Yeah, it should just be .03.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I was just curious about that, I thought, well,
Yeah,
Didn't-
I just saw that
Yep.
you pointed it out.
no, that's fine. I saw that, and I was just kinda curious about why that was like that. Anybody else the conclusions, I know you guys were, something that we always have to deal with is the fact that you were saying that, the same person is receiving the cash receipts and is recording the transactions, but that's a staffing issue, it's not necessarily a,
Exactly. Just about every city we go to is gonna have a problem with segregation of duties, just
Sure.
because it's not feasible for the community to pay for that many people to staff everything.
And then the only other one was, we evidently had taken some money out of one fund and paid it directly rather than entering it into our debt service
Service
fund
fund.
and then paying it out of that, so
Right.
we didn't actually,
Affected as
sure,
well.
yep. Did anybody else have any other questions?
Did we address these issues, the deficits in the upcoming budget?
Yes.
Okay, that's all I have then.
Our video's down.
Should we just proceed, or do we need to take a break?
No, we can't. Don't talk.
Don't say anything, Joel. This is, we're gonna continue this at the night.
Yeah.
Well, if no one has any other further questions for Steve or comments,
Nope.
thank you very much. I'm sure you did, it was a very thorough job, and
Thank you.
appreciate your work.
Thanks, Steve.
Yes.
Okay. So then on to resolutions this evening. The first one is, we need a motion to approve the following proposed resolution number 2016-10, a resolution approving the vacation of a portion of a utility easement in the city of Humboldt located in the Northwest Industrial Park.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by John, seconded by Joel. Roll call vote, please.
Goodell?
Aye.
Slater?
Aye.
Rusher?
Aye.
Davis?
Aye.
Secondly, we need, the next resolution is we need a motion to approve the following proposed resolution number 2016-11, a resolution authorizing the dissolution of the Iowa City's e-payment aggregation system, iCash, established under an intergovernmental agreement pursuant to Iowa Code Chapter 28E.
Want me to-
I'll say I'll let Gloria take this one.
This is the organization that we belong to that allows us to process our credit card payments for utility bills and whatever, under a group of cities so that it makes it more economically feasible to do it. It cuts down on the charges. This started back in 2007, when it was very difficult to find places that would, for smaller towns to be able to process credit cards through. It's no longer needed, so we're going to dissolve the 2080, and go with another company to handle our credit card transactions, which will actually be less expensive than what the customers are seeing now who pay by credit card.
Move we approve.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Slater?
Aye.
Rusher?
Aye.
Davis?
Aye.
Goodell?
Aye.
Motion carried. The next, we need a motion the following proposed resolution number 2016-12, a resolution approving the engineer's statement of completion and approving pay estimate number 27, the final, from Industrial Process Technology, Inc. of Fargo, North Dakota, in the amount of $18,461.13 for the 2012 Humboldt Water Treatment Plant Improvement Project.
Okay, so this is the, as it says, 2012 water treatment plant. This is the final pay. It has been recommended by the engineer to go ahead and close this project out. We're still working with the contractor on some warranty issues, but as far as completion of the project goes, all the completion aspects have been met.
Lance is
Lance,
here.
that's what I thought. Lance, do you have any comments you'd like to make on this project, or?
Yeah, I just thought I'd share a few things.
Thank you. Please do.
Just,
Our video's down again.
We still have volume.
We'll just do audio.
Camera, but we
That's,
still have audio.
that's fine, we'll just do audio. Sure.
so yeah, I thought I'd just give a little summary of the project since it has been going on for a while and just everything's gone on. So it ended up being 6.2 million was the final price and change. Worked out on the change orders, it ended up being a net deduct, but if you just take the ads, we had like 0.8% in ads. So pretty good as far as change orders go for a project of that complexity. This is being funded with SRF, and as you might be aware, we went for a LEED certification of the building, and maybe, I don't remember if that was 2 or 3 months ago, maybe if you remember, Gloria, we got LEED certification from the U.S. Green Building Council. The SRF program has, as part of that deal, they will refund 20% of the cost of the project for the buildings that are certified. So when you close the loan documentation here, sometime soon, they're supposed to rebate about $590,000 back out of that loan. So it'll cut the cost back a fair amount. That ends up taking the total project cost, by the time you take into account engineering fees and the construction, should be around 6.6 million, somewhere in that for the total.
Excuse me, Lance, 6.6?
Yeah, that
Okay.
includes engineering and construction.
Right.
Yeah. With the SRF lead rebate. A couple other things, you know, obviously, it did cost more than we had intended back